good, the bad, and the odd. They're sorted.
Welcome to this episode of The Good, The Bad, and the Odd. We're your hosts, Mark and Sam. This is our 400th episode, and today we've decided to do the one of the greatest 80s action films of all time, possibly, depending on your point of view, Commando. Hi, Sam.
Hey.
Okay, let's play a trailer from our good friends over at United Nations of Horror. I'll play their trailer right now, and then I want to just talk about a couple of things before we pull up the comfy chair. So here's their trailer.
The United Nations of Horror.
Welcome back to the United Nations of Horror.
An international podcast about all things horror.
He emptied pubs when the show was broadcast on a Saturday night. It was literally that powerful. It was a sensation in the press. There were even questions in Parliament. And the more intelligent runners of pubs actually had to wheel in a TV to keep the regulars in there on a Saturday night rather than go home.
A podcast featuring a group of hardcore horror fans from all over the globe.
And so to watch that and just see how influential it was, this little-known film that I knew nothing about, I thought it was really cool, and it still holds up.
Each episode features a main topic.
And our main subject today is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Today we're tackling early German horror, looking at the Golem, how he came into the world.
Der Golem und wie in die Welt kam.
A horror podcast with a community focus.
Well, hey folks, this is Anthony back with another TV terror entry. This week we're talking Halloween.
Salutations, fellow horror fans. This is Talisha Tarver, your horror librarian, here to discuss this week's book tie-in for The Entity.
The United Nations of Horror. Visit us online at www.unitednationsofhorror.com.
So much ghost rape in this episode.
We're kind of rapey, you know?
Please keep that quote in.
Yes.
United Nations of Horror. We're kind of rapey.
Right, one thing I wanted to mention is I have a new book out. It's been out for a while, actually, but it's actually about to be become free for 5 days on Kindle. It's The Boy Who Got Lost in Dreams. It's a story. What you've read this, Sam? It's like if you like The Hobbit, you'd like it. It's that kind of.
It's a fantasy story.
Yeah, it's for 8-9 year olds upwards, really. But if you like any kind of it's actiony. It's actiony.
Yeah.
And it's also fantasy. I think The Hobbit's probably one of the nearest comparisons I can think of it. There's sort of elements of Jungle Book and maybe stuff like Peter Pan and stuff like that. But it's a kind of fun action, but it will be free on Kindle for anyone to download, and I'll be happy if anyone downloads it. Get it free, and you can keep it forever for free. From the 17th of July 2016, I better say that because it's going to date this podcast horribly, for 5 days. And if you haven't got a Kindle and you think, well, I haven't got a Kindle, that's no good to me, you can get Kindle apps on pretty much any smartphone, certainly Androids and iPhones. For free, and you can download this book, so you can carry this book forever if you want it. So I urge everyone to give it a try, and I think you'll enjoy it. I always enjoy it whenever I read it again, although I wrote it. It's been a while since you've read it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And years.
Yes.
Not since I think you finished it. I've read it.
I actually wrote this story for Sam when he was at about 9, 8, when he was between 8 and 9, and finished it on Christmas Eve in 2004. That's how long ago it was written. And I've just had it. I lost the electronic form, and I've never wanted to type it up, and I finally got around to it. So that's kind of the story behind the story. As it were. So, as I say, free on Kindle, Amazon. Every Amazon bookstore will have it. Co-UK, Canada, everywhere. Everywhere's got it. So please download it. Okay, let's move on to the comfy chair.
Get the comfy chair!
Right, what do you got? How many you got?
I've only got 1, 2, if you count the thing that we can sort of both
Yeah.
about. So.
Well, there was one game we both played quite a bit of last week. A board game we can also talk about. If you don't mind, I'll start because there's. I know that one of them we're going to share, and you've got something, but I'll start. Eddie the Eagle. Watched Eddie the Eagle. It was really fun. Better than I thought it was going to be. There was more laughs in it I thought it was going to be. It had a lot of heart. It's based on a true story of Eddie the Eagle, a UK Olympic competitor. Had absolutely no hope of ever getting into the medals, but he was a real try again, and he kind of captured the heart of people all over the world, in fact. And this is his story, and it's kind of fun. The guy from Kingsman, the young who played Eggs in Kingsman, plays Eddie in this, and he also gets some assistance from Hugh Jackman, who plays like an ski jumper who decides to train him, and it's about it's a typical sports feel good sports kind of film, overcoming the odds and trying to get somewhere. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good film. Okay, over to you.
Okay, I've been playing it's a game for the PlayStation Vita. It's God of War Ghost of Sparta. This is sort of a midquel to the God of War series.
Okay.
It takes place after the first sort of chronological couple of games, but before the last few. This is during Kratos' reign as the God of War. The thing about Kratos is he's plagued by visions constantly.
Yeah.
And it's usually about the time he killed his wife and daughter by accident. But at this point in time, he started getting really weird ones related to a former brother that he had.
Okay.
That as far as he knew, the brother died, but it turns out that God's kidnapped his brother because he was some marked warrior prophesied to bring down Olympus, and they chained him up in the domain of the god of death.
Okay.
So the game is basically Kratos rampaging until he gets to the domain of death.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it is really fun because you start off in Atlantis,
right,
and then you cause Atlantis to sink by if I remember correctly, it's either you fighting the Kraken or you letting a Titan loose that's hidden underneath the city. One of the two. But yeah, you flatten Atlantis, and then you fight your way to the domain of death, where you beat the tired of the god of death along with your brother.
It sounds good. I mean, the Vita's a good, fun little console, isn't it?
It gets a lot of flack, but it's perfectly manageable as a console.
Yeah, I have a bit of trouble with it because the screen's just a little too small for me to feel reasonably comfortable playing it. It's okay though, and I think some of the games have transferred really well. Some not so much, but some of them are really good. And the button mashers like God of War do really well. I think the Vita is really good. One of the games I really like on the Vita is the Batman one, Blackgate.
Arkham Origins, Blackgate.
Yeah. I think that's a really nice little game, and I think the God of War is like also the perfect things like I don't know Spyro. If you're looking at old school games, Spyro and stuff really work well on it as well.
Yeah.
So it was fun, was it? I mean, I do like Kratos. It is a button masher, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just to carry on with games in a minute, all this Pokemon Go stuff that's in this minute is amazing. That game is a bit of a game changer. I think we're seeing a new type of game emerge. Yeah. I know this kind of game has been around kind of before, but the way Pokemon Go's really taken off, it's amazing. Children are walking around the streets and talking to each other because they're and you even see adults and children talking about Pokemon, which is kind of odd but touching in a way, because they're kind of interested in Pokemon, finding all these Pokemons. It's kind of, I know it's a bit at the minute, but I find it kind of cool actually.
Yeah,
and I can see other games that are variants on it coming out. I've seen someone joking about we need a Walking Dead Go kind of game.
Someone's making a joke about a Dark Souls Go. You just look up and there's monsters everywhere.
And they just kill you. I'm just looking at a news story on the BBC at the minute where apparently a guy in New Zealand's quit his job so he can play Pokemon Go full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right
You
for
can
some,
play
isn't it?
video games full time as a living now, so that's
Okay.
you can stream. You can make pretty good money off of it.
Well, what he's doing, I don't know how he's getting his funding, but basically he's just walking the planet. But he's playing Pokemon, so it's like, wow. And there's also some news reports today that in the Church of England, that some churches have decided of wanting to be. Is it? I can't remember the term. Is it Pokestops?
Pokestops.
Or Poke Gyms or something like that. Somewhere where you get poker. I don't know enough about it. I'm sounding like the old geezer shouting at the clouds now, but I don't know enough about it to know the details. But I think it's kind of cool sounding.
Unfortunately, my phone's not good enough for it.
Wow. Mine is, but I'm not having it. I think it's kind of sweet, and I do think it's a new genre game in effect. And now I know that it's been done before, but this is kind of like Doom was to the precursors of it. It just it hit the ball out of the park, so it's going to be the game changer.
Yeah.
Because of its popularity. So it's kind of cool. One other thing I wanted to talk about, something we both have been doing in the last week, we've started trying a new board game called Zombicide, haven't we?
Yeah. This is pretty fun.
Zombicide Black Plague, this one is, which I think is like version 2 of the original Zombicide. Basically, it's a kind of your Dungeons and Dragons-y, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's a fantasy sort of version of the zombie apocalypse.
Zombie apocalypse. The first version is a traditional, guns and you're on the streets kind of zombie thing, but the second one's D&D. And I was going to get the first one, but the whole setup and the extras and stuff you get with the second one just made it look a much nicer game. And in fact, it turns into a pretty great game, hasn't it? We've played it a few times with several people, and it's really, really a lot of fun. Don't you think?
Yeah, I quite like it.
Yeah, it's good fun. It seems to have a lot of variation. You can play a game that's an hour, but you can also set up a game that's 3 hours. It's pretty easy to do that with the.
Or you can mess up in the hour one and it takes 3 hours.
Yeah, that sometimes happens too. But it's good fun. And what video game do you think it most feels like? Is it something like Left 4 Dead?
Yeah, probably Left 4 Dead.
So it's like a board game
version of Left 4 Dead.
Because basically the zombies keep coming and coming, and you get more power. The more powerful you get, the more zombies turn up.
Yeah,
and you got to fight your way out or rescue someone, or there's lots of depending on what game you play, the objective changes, and it's kind of fun. But there's some really horrible zombies coming at you all the time, and they're quite relentless as well. It's good fun. Which brings us to our last thing, which is something we both watched again. Do you want to talk about this one?
Is this AbFab?
AbFab.
Yeah,
the TV show AbFab.
Yeah, this is Jennifer Saunders and Joanna Lumley. I always forget their names. It's their sort of comedy show about these two. What do you call them? Socialites or
they're fashionistas, I think.
Yeah,
they're horrible people. They're really, truly dreadful people, but they're kind of funny.
Yeah,
we're laughing at them, and we're also laughing at the horribleness they're pouring onto people. Kind of thing. It's kind of funny, and some of the people they deserve it, and some don't, and it's kind of fun. But there's some great lines in it, like for example, Joanna Lumley's character is Patsy. She's an old drunk smoker, sex fiend kind of thing, and she smokes so much they try and wean her off smoking by putting on nicotine patches, but the patches actually seem to be recharging from her rather than actually leaching into her skin. That made me laugh. That was a great line. And stuff like that, and they're just horrible. We were kind of thinking about going to see the film maybe, so we might well do that next time. But it's the TV series is fun. Sometimes I used to find it a bit exasperating because it felt a bit samey to me, but now I'm kind of much more relaxed about it. And I think, oh yeah, this is fine. They're doing a shtick, aren't they? It's like watching the Three Stooges. You know what you're going to get, and you're just like, this is fine. And if you like it, it's great.
Yeah.
So we watched the first 2 series already?
We're about midway through the third
We're kind
series.
of working through them, aren't we? So we'll probably have them
Patsy
finished.
just burnt the house down.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
only
yeah.
asleep.
Yes, and then no decorating at all has been done for a while, has it?
Yeah.
Just can't decide what to do. Yes, so they're living in this I don't know what. It's good fun though, so we'll continue working through that, I should imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, should we get on to Commando now?
Okay.
Okay.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Get on with it!
Right, well, this is show 400. I wonder if we'll do another 400. You know what? I think every time we do it, I kind of say something like that almost every time we do
100. Yeah.
100. But maybe. There's so many films that we probably will, yeah. This was made in 85. I'm trying to think what else was in 85. This was kind of a bit of not a lull, but certainly, Predator was to come, and Conan and the Terminator had already happened. So Commando was kind of more a mid-level Arnie kind of thing.
Yeah.
In principle, personally, I for the longest time I held it as one of Arnie's great movies outside the Terminator and Conan films, which I think are special. I really like this film, but only recently, in the last couple of years, as Predator just edged it out for me in terms of his great films outside of those two franchises. But watching it again, very enjoyable. This is your first watch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to see this at the cinema, which dates me horribly. 1985. In the US, it came out in October the 4th. I think it might have been a little later in the UK. It was a pretty successful film. Budget of 10 million, made 60 million. Not bad. Some of the cast, Bill Duke was in it, who then went on to be in Predator. So they worked together again. And we even see Bill Paxton pop up at one point.
Yeah, that was weird. He plays a bit part.
Bizarrely, I must have seen this film 10 times, and I'd either forgotten or I'd never noticed that was Bill Paxton before, because he is in it really fleetingly, isn't he? I'm sure I must have just forgotten, because I know who Bill Paxton is. There's no doubt about that. I think this was made in the same year as Aliens, right? So,
yeah.
Aliens. Oh no, Aliens was 86, so it was prior to him becoming really famous, I imagine. It's kind of fun. It's almost like they've taken a Rambo film and said, let's stop all the psychological bullshit, just, deliver, a fun, mental film. The music was by James Horner, can you believe it?
Yeah.
That weird calypso guitar stuff. It just doesn't sound like James Horner at all.
No.
It was directed by Mark L. Lester, whoever that is. Produced by Joel Silver, who was famous for this run of action films. I think he produced Die Hard ultimately, so it was pretty. Had his hand in this. It's funny.
Oh wow, he had his hand in a lot of pies.
Who's that?
Joel Silver.
Oh yeah, loads.
Predator, Roger Rabbit, Lethal Weapon.
It was extremely successful. One of the things I love about this film is 90 minutes. There's no messing. There's no goofing around. It just kind of gets on with it. I like Ray Dawn Chong in this as Cindy. She didn't do much after this. She did a bit and bobs. She was pretty good in this, but it was a very functional role, wasn't it? Really just turn up and sort of help him out now and again. But she had some good comedy moments. How did you? This is your first viewing. How did the thing overall? How did you feel? How did it feel to you?
I quite liked it. It was really fun, really goofy.
Arnie delivered.
Yeah.
He had some good one-liners in this, and he delivered them.
This is like the one-liner. This is pretty much the quintessential 80s film. So many one-liners, so many goofy action sequences, and so many scenes where it's just like, dude, isn't he manly? Yeah,
and there's also a lot of wincing kind of scenes, isn't it? Because they're so horribly violent. And it's kind of fun. Like, where he smacks the bloke in the balls with an axe. It's like,
oh God, yeah.
Pitchforking people and all this, that, and And it is comedy when he's like running through like a huge garden when an entire army's shooting at him and they're all missing. They all went on to become stormtroopers in for future lives, I think.
Yeah. I mean, past lives.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Long time ago in a galaxy far away.
Yeah, past lives. And the daughter's quite good, Jenny, Alyssa Milano, who went on to lots of other stuff once she grew up. She was pretty good in this. I thought she wasn't annoying. Kids can be kind of annoying, but she worked well. I did like the line when the horrible dictator guy's talking to her and he says, "It's not as much fun as when I see him smash your face in." That's kind of cool.
Yeah, she's completely unafraid of these guys.
Yeah, and she's very resourceful too. It's kind of cool that we see Arnie being very resourceful, don't we? He's kind of a bit of a MacGyver in this, figuring out weaponry and working with whatever he's got. And she kind of does the same. And we do get like a little bit of him teaching her martial arts at the beginning, don't we? So she kind of can handle herself a little. She's quite small, So. And there's some good, what. And Bill Duke was pretty good in this as like the main enforcer until he died anyway,
Yeah.
wiping out all these guys and this, that and the other. It was fun.
Yeah.
That's the way to describe this. I got a Blu-ray of it recently and it was a really nice print. It looked pretty, it was bare bones as anything. The on the Blu-ray, all there was some trailers for other films. That was it. There was nothing else. And some, audio and subtitle stuff, but no docs or no voiceovers or nothing like that. So, but that was fine.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting much from this film. What any particularly favourite bits?
All of the goofy one-liners where he kills like the main henchman. It's like, hey, I said I'd kill you last, Sully. I lied. Yeah. And let off some steam.
Some steam, Bennett.
Leave my friend alone. He's dead tired.
Yeah. One of my favourite bits is when the security guy says to the girls, "Do you want to see me kick some ass?" Like boasting is like, yeah, nah. And when Arnie does that spectacular swing across the shop to land on top of the lift was just amazing. That what stuntman did that took some guts because he was going at a fair old clip that one. It was this kind of thing. Matrix. I would have liked to have seen more Matrix films, frankly.
Yeah,
it could have been like a bit like Remo, just doing missions, goofy missions.
Yeah. You could have easily made Commando into like a long-running TV series, like Fugitive or something.
Yeah, it would have worked if they'd just given missions. It could have been a one-man A-team kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I like the douchey henchman will fit well. Sully, the guy that played. What was his name? David Patrick Kelly. I haven't seen him in much apart from the Warriors, and he was great in Twin Peaks too, as like a shithill lawyer brother of one of the guys. He was kind of fun in that. He should have been a bit more famous, in my opinion. I think he's a good actor. Vernon Wells, of course, who was Wes in Mad Max 2. In fact, there's one point he gets on about, and I'm sure someone says, "Hi, Wes," which is really bizarre, though his name's Bennett in this.
Yeah.
I might have just misheard it.
Well, we only know his last name, Bennett.
Bennett. It might be Wes Bennett, you mean? Yeah. And they're basically trying to get Arnie to sort of kill some famous president, and he has none of it, does he? Some of his negotiations are kind of hilarious when they're trying to get him to do stuff. It's funny, this was kind of a remade in Taken. Taken is basically the same plot, but much more serious and, dour, and Liam Neeson growling, but basically it was Commando.
Yeah.
Lessons. Just his daughter was a little older, man. And it was like, it hated Europeans.
Yeah.
It was I'm not sure there's not much more to say about this.
There's not really much you can say about it.
It's tremendously entertaining. There is apparently out a director's cut now that's it's about the same. It's just slightly more violent in places, or they're lingering on some of the blood a little more. But apparently it's pretty much... I was tempted... I was thinking about getting it for this podcast, but I thought, nah. It sounded really similar to me. So I didn't see much point, to be honest. It does have a lot of special features, though, which this is a bit about. But I'm quite happy with the film. Honestly, if I was interested in the Commando, I'd just watch the film again. And I think this is probably the 10th time I watch it. I've watched it. Would you watch it again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a real no-brainer kind of. I've got 90 minutes. What am I going to do? Commando. It's one of those, isn't it? There's no fat on it at all.
Yeah, it is really sort of quick between scenes. Just like, okay, he's off the plane. Now they're in a shopping mall, and now they're in wherever they end up next, an airplane, no, a hotel, and then they're in a military warehouse.
Yeah, they just fire. Basically kill someone, finds a clue in their pocket, and goes on to the next thing. That's kind of, that's the kind of level of detective work, isn't it, really? And it just all falls into, it doesn't matter in this kind of film, does it? I do remember there was a rumour that Arnie actually wanted a bit in Commando where he rips a guy's arm off. Now I don't know if it's the one where he chops a guy's arm off in this thing, or if he literally rips a guy's arm off, and Arnie wanted to do that and then hit him over the head with it to knock him out with his own arm. But that would have worked. Yeah, that would have been fine. Yeah. It is like a light-hearted version of Rambo in many respects. There's definitely a bit of that, and I would have liked to have seen a bit more John Malkovich. In fact, you know what? I do think Dutch from Predator is a near cousin of Matrix kind of thing. Could have been John Malkovich just as easily, frankly.
Yeah.
If he'd decided to bring the team back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. Should we get to rating it then?
Yeah, sorry, I just had this image in my head of like 5 Arnolds all fighting something.
Okay. What would you give this out of 10?
I'd probably give it an 8.
I have trouble with this because I really, really like it, but I recognise it's just kind of quite a superficial, not a nonsense kind of film, throwaway kind of film, but I really, really like it. So I'm going to give it a 9, but I'm really tempted to give it a 10. I've got to be honest. I really think it's a great film. But okay, I'll go with a 9, you go with an 8. So Commando thumbs up here. We seem to be doing a fair few of these 80s films lately, don't we? Maybe should we move away or should we continue on? What do you
I don't mind.
It's whatever we feel like. As I say, we might come back to Ab Fab next week, so we'll see.
Yeah.
That'll be bang up to date. Okay then, let's call it a session now. So bye from me.
Bye.